Well, let's start off by defining DORA. I think it's warranting that we at least start there, then we kind of build our way up. So DORA stands for the DevOps DO Research and Assessment
Yeah.
RA. So DevOps Research and Assessment, and it was created by Google a number of years ago.
Uh,
And
well, back up a little bit.
okay,
I love to do the improv thing with yes and, but I definitely should correct you on that. Google inherited it.
inherited. Okay,
Actually created. Um, Now I can't think. I want to name drop her. I've listened to her speak many times at conferences. Um, you're faster at googling as we talk.
I'm closer to my keyboard.
Yeah.
Nicole
Yes.
Fergerman.
Nicole. Yeah. And for some reason I had Kim stuck. Sorry, Nicole.
Gene Kim's in there too.
Yeah, Gene Kim eventually became involved, but it was mainly Nicole uh, as a research project, and then eventually she was hired by Google, and Google took over the ownership of.
But on a technicality, it was part of Google. It was created by Google.
I
The
guess
DORA team, look, the DORA team that is a team as part of Google's cloud.
it is
Okay.
now. It did. It
And
wasn't
it was
original.
founded by Nicole Forsgren,
Uh,
Jazz, and Gene. Gene worked at Google?
no, I'm not positive. I don't recall him working at Google.
And okay, so and conducted research for the DevOps company Puppet and later became an independent team.
Yes. Yeah. So it eventually lands at Google, but the first number of years it wasn't anything to
It
do
was
with.
an independent effort.
It was independent research effort.
All right. So Google's got its hands on it because at the end of the day, one of the
It's all Google now.
yeah, one of the things picks it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got DORA. So again,
Mhm.
it's just an assessment. It's metrics
It
for
it's
measuring DevOps.
exactly it defines some key metrics throughout the DevOps lifecycle that you should be measuring for if you're running a DevOps
Team.
team. Yeah, that
And we're
should.
gonna cover four
Yeah.
metrics. Four
Format.
metrics.
Yeah.
We're going with change lead time,
Hmm.
which is the time to implement, test, and deliver code for a feature, measured from the first commit to deployment.
Hmm.
We got deployment frequency, the number of deployments in a given duration of time. Change failure rate, which is a percentage of failed changes over all changes,
Hmm.
regardless of success. And then my favorite, which I've seen this one for many years in hard drives, your mean time to recovery.
To recovery. Yeah.
Yeah, the time it takes for you to restore after a production failure.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah.
Now, I like these metrics. These metrics measure throughput.
Hmm. Yeah. I agree. I like these metrics. The issues I have with these metrics is um, how they're implemented at different companies. So often I'll go into a shop that says they're moving to DevOps or they are a DevOps shop, and they have implemented DORA and they're just thrilled that they implemented DORA, but they're not necessarily measuring the right things. They're measuring those four sets of metrics, but the start and stop times or the values are not necessarily attached at the right points, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, and I've seen something very similar in the past where um teams adapt, like at least they have a good intention to adapt, and then end up going in a slightly different direction and
So
might miss the mark.
yeah, a lot of it depends on how you determine or define the deployment. The type of software that you're developing may not have a solid endpoint for deployment. It might be kind of fuzzy. And if it's fuzzy, what aspect of that fuzziness do you decide to start measuring? And that pretty much holds true for all four of the metrics. If I'm measuring the time it takes to identify a change, implement it, and then get it to the customer, how are you defining your customer? Is your customer your test site? Is it the UAT? Is it the actual end customer? And I think all of those measurements are important.
Important. Yeah, I've been in countless meetings where the definition of done and what does done mean, like, it's brutal.
Mhm.
Because I don't know that I've ever been on a team where any 2 people have agreed with what done actually means.
Yeah, it depends on what your role is in the organization.
Yeah,
If you're just a coder, you're done when you hit commit. Uh, but you're not truly done until it's tested, and it's gone through security, it's gone through all the different checks and balances, and get approved, and has actually gone onto a deployment site, and that may be hours, it may be days or months after you hit that commit button.
yeah, no, definitely. And that deployment could also, like you were saying, right? It could be different. Like, are we deploying to a test environment, or do you not get credit until it goes out to production? But then production deployments are usually much more stringent, right? Because there's compliance, there's change
Should be.
management, and that adds to your
Yeah,
window.
the entire time. Yeah,
So
yeah.
teams tend to cut it out to, to not look so bad.
Yeah, let's cut test out so it looks like our time to deployment is lower. Um,
But I think it's important for teams though, like, because taxonomy and semantics is so important in conversing these metrics, or any metrics in general, right? Because
yeah.
if everybody has a different definition of where the touchdown is at, then how do you keep score? And it's really hard to keep score. And the metrics, all they're doing is keeping score,
Mhm.
but you can't move the the
The
the end
goal.
zone.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't move the goalpost at
yeah.
your convenience either.
Well, you can depending on where you are in the organization, but you shouldn't.